I wrote this trio sonata for two Baroque violins, Baroque cello, and organ, using Alfred Schnittke's idea of polystylism, which I expanded to include elements of 18th century performance practice. Schnittke was a German-Soviet composer who coined the term polystylism in 1971. It's essentially what it sounds like, combining many different styles by means of quotation and allusion. One means of quotation that Schnittke often used were monograms, or spelling the names of different persons with music. I included the monograms of Schnittke and Shostakovich in this work, which serves as the main musical material that is developed throughout. Performance practice deals with the conventions surrounding the performance of music from a given period. Elements of performance practice specific to the Baroque era include the instruments themselves, tuning and temperament, national style, ornamentation, and the general philosophy, which was based heavily off of the Enlightenment ideas of rhetoric and affect. A key difference between Baroque and modern instruments are the strings used. Today we use metal strings. Back then they used gut strings, which have a very different timbre that I considered while writing this piece. Another key difference was the bow that was used. Today, our modern bow is arched this way and is generally the same weight throughout the entire length of the bow. The Baroque bow, however, arched the opposite direction and was quite a bit lighter at the tip than it was at the frog. This allowed for inequality of different notes, which was turned into the idea of beat hierarchy. I exploited this idea a lot in this piece. I chose the title Sonata da Chiesa, or Church Sonata, because I felt this piece is more reminiscent of a church sonata, rather than the chamber sonata or Sonata da Camera. A key difference between the two was the use of dance movements as titles for movements in the chamber sonata to indicate tempo, and the use of tempo words in the church sonata. I used tempo words for movement titles. Another key element of the church sonata was that it was generally more contrapuntal than the chamber sonata. My trio sonata is heavily contrapuntal, and my approach to writing the counterpoint was informed by my study of 18th century counterpoint techniques. Aside from being a scholarly endeavor, this piece has allowed me to combine my various musical interests and thus write what makes me happy. For me, Baroque music is the purest form of joy. I love the timbre of gut strings, the inequality and lightness created by the bow, the idiomaticity of the music, and the perfect balance of logic and emotion that this music embodies. I love the incredible freedom that comes with polystylism as well. I can be anything I want. It's not a restrictive label. Without further ado, here's my Sonata da Chiesa, performed by my mentors Greg Young and Carrie Krauss, my friend Ansel Fitteman, and myself.